Well, today was a really great day. Sorry, no podcast yesterday. I was up in Fairfield, Connecticut. I had a procedure done. But yesterday's pattern was I said to everyone early in the morning yesterday, if the 60-minute time frame reverses at 9:30 on the spiders, the Qs, the diamonds, the Russell, what's going to happen? You buy the pullback on the 15-minute time frame between 11:30 and 12:30. S&P futures were trading 68.35 yesterday, pulled down to the 67.93, and then rallied from 67.93 to 68.65. Today, I saw the markets drop in here, and I said the underlying ETFs are still in monster buy mode. And what is the strategy? The strategy is this. You take the oversold condition on the 30-minute time frame. S&Ps went from 68.30.75 all the way up to 68. So 68.31 all the way up to 68.79. So an unbelievable rally off the 30-minute time frames, and that really was the strategy of the day. It was slow today. It was Veterans Day. The banks were closed, but overall. Then we saw the Qs reverse to sell on the 15-minute time frame, but it was okay. We saw the Qs reversing to sell, setting up the long on the 30-minute time frame. When we got the double blue buy, the 15 correlating above the pivot, you take the short, and I'll show you that pattern, then you wait for the pullback. But the real big pattern today was when the 15-minute time frame also reversed to buy, correlating with the on the S&P futures with the 30 and the 60. Now you're in a positive trend. The pullback at 140 down to 65.5 on the S&Ps. They rallied up about 10. NASDAQ ran about 50 on that pattern. Really great patterns today. We saw NVIDIA reverse to sell in the 30-minute. The 30-minute bounce above 194.50. Kabooshed down about $1.60. Apple reversed to buy on the 15, the 30, and the 60-minute. Apple, the pullback on the 15 ran 3. First pullback on the 15 after the 30 and 60 reversed to buy. So what I want to do is show you these patterns and how unbelievable they were. Now, also, there were some moments today when the S&Ps were pushing up to new highs, and then the MACDs didn't confirm on the 30 and 60-minute time frames. But overall, whether you're in a buy divergence, a positive trend, a negative trend, or a negative or a sell divergence, you can get buy and sell divergences. So why don't we do this? Why don't we just go and I'll just show you the patterns right here. So basically, this is the first pattern of the day here that I want to show you. I mean, not the first, but basically, you can see here, very, very strong here. We opened here, right? And then we got the drop here, and the drop came right here between 11 and 12 o'clock. You can see this is the first pullback on the 15-minute time frame right here after the 30 and the 60 reversed to buy on Friday here on the 7th. You can see the 60-minute time frame also got deeply oversold at one point today. You get the oversold condition into the positive MACD. Beautiful pattern. I said I wouldn't be short here, and I said I'm actually very bullish. People couldn't believe it because they know I'm a roaring bear. But the bottom line is I can't ignore the pattern, and you can't override that. This is the math that I wrote. I spent 10 years of my life building this, all right? And I have to tell you that this was an amazing pattern, oversold, beautiful long, and you can see the push up here. Great pattern here as well. Let me show you some Tesla here. Tesla reversing to sell on the 30-minute time frame. And then what happened here, you can see the first bounce on the 5-minute time frame. Here's the first bounce on the 5-minute on Tesla. Got up to the, here it is. This is the first bounce right here, 436.60. And you can see Tesla dropped here 2, and then ultimately dropped here. Again, you can see that the 30-minute time frame reversing to sell on Tesla right here at the 11 o'clock. So the rule of thumb is you short the first bounce here on the 30-minute, and then it dropped here about $1.60. If you look here at 11, let's see the 11 o'clock pattern on Tesla right here. This is the bear flag right here. Beautiful first bounce. This is the one I was showing you. This is the first bounce on the 5-minute after the 30-minute reverse to sell. And look what happened. Kabooshed, $4. Okay. Bitcoin, really big selling here today. The 60-minute, you can see the ADX is rising. The MACD is negative, blue over yellow. Big selling pressure. The 60 reverses to sell, correlates with the 30 and the 15. What do you look to do? This is what's called a double red short. When the 5 correlates with the 15, 30, and 60, you take the bounce here. They get short 103, 199. Bitcoin kabooshed almost 500 points. This is called a double red short. When you see Bitcoin here reversing to sell on the 60, it correlates with the 30 and the 15. What do you look to do? You look to short the bounces here on the 15. This is the 10 o'clock bounce right here. 8 o'clock is when we reverse to sell right here on the 60. Really never really got any really big overbought conditions, but that's when you see a rising ADX like that on the 60-minute. Rising ADX on the 30, big selling pressure. Then you have to take the shorts on the 5-minute time frame. That's the strategy. Whenever you have ADX is rising with big selling pressure, negative MACDs on the 30 and 60-minute time frame, you take the shorts. You take all the shorts on the overbought condition. Here's a double red short on the 5, and then you short the first bounce here on the 5, and here's another one. Boom. Here's another one. Look at that drop. Wow, that dropped about 700. So basically, when Bitcoin reversed to sell, okay, on the 60, it correlated with the 30 and the 15. You look to short the bounces on every 5-minute overbought condition because you have the ADXs are rising on the 30 and the 60, the big selling pressure. And then when the 5-minute time frame reversed to sell on the double red short around the 320, 325, Bitcoin dropped about 400, a really great pattern there. Okay, also, let's look at Apple. Apple was the stellar of the day. Apple up 2.25%, closed off the highs. So Apple reverses to buy on the 60-minute time frame at 10:30. Apple reverses to buy on the 30-minute here at 10 o'clock. Apple reverses to buy at 9:45 on the 15. So actually right here, you can see. And then this is the pattern that I said to everybody. You buy the first pullback on the 15-minute time frame, and Apple, you look at the positive MACDs, ADXs are rising on the 15 and the 30 and the 60. Look at Apple, never look back, right there, 271.82. I actually said to go long here. I said look to buy Apple 270.90 to 271.90. The low is 271.82. If you bought anything, you bought one lot, and then here you go, boom, up $3, about 280. From here. 71.72, ran almost $3 there, and then we at the end of the day we'll see what happens. Now for tomorrow, since Apple reverses like that, we're going to end up look at this beautiful bull flag off the 15. Now tomorrow we'll look for pullbacks on Apple on the 30 and the 60-minute time frame. But again, major monster longs here on the 30-minute time frame. The 30-minute time frame really was the key focal point today. Key focal point. I'm going to show you Microsoft here. Microsoft reversing to sell on the 15-minute time frame. Correlating, Microsoft, let me just do this. Microsoft reversed to sell on the 15. Okay, now when that happens, you could take the long position on the 15, even though it's negative against the 30 and the 60. This pullback actually set up the 30 and the 60-minute time frame on Microsoft here. Sorry, the 30 is reversed to sell. You could take that long against the 30 and the 60-minute. Now, the rule of thumb is 85% of the time, if that happens, the highs are in for the day, but not in this case, the highs were pushed up. And then what happened when Microsoft pushes up here, again on the double blue, what do you look to do? You look to buy pullbacks on the 5 minutes. So the 15 reversing to buy again. Now, when you do get an overbought condition like that, you want to short the bounce up there, 509, above 509, and then it dropped here at the end of the day about $1.20 or a little bit more, because when the algo reverses to buy with the MACDs above the pivot on the 15, but the MACDs need to be above the pivot on all 3 time frames. You can see it just started to curl up and the 30s are above the pivot. So now for tomorrow, we'll look to see if we get a pullback on the 15 on Microsoft. It did trade really low today here, down to the 502 level. So this push down here on Microsoft got deeply oversold. Again, on the oversold condition, set up the long on the 30 and the 60-minute time frame. Great pattern on Microsoft. Gold here, very strong here towards the end of the day. The key for gold was the 30-minute time frame getting deeply oversold here. The 30-minute first pullback on the 30. We gapped up on gold. Now gold, when it gapped up, the 15-minute GLDs did not confirm. Okay, you can see here, this is the push up here on the gold earlier this morning, right here. The gold could not confirm the 380.26. You can see the gold drop. It dropped about, gold dropped almost 50. It got up to the 41.53 and change. Got down to 41.02.80, 402 and a half. So gold dropped about 51. Now also, when you had that pattern there, you can see the gold futures on that push up here today, that the gold futures, the MACDs couldn't confirm the high on the 15, and the MACDs could not confirm the high on the 30. The negative MACDs. So you got the price pushing up and into the negative MACDs on the 30 and on the 15. So that was a really great short pattern on gold. And then when gold got deeply oversold on the 30-minute time frame, it's up a great long. Now for tomorrow, we'll see where gold's going to go. But again, you got the negative MACDs on the 30 on the GLDs. We'll see what happens here. The 30 reverses to buy. So for the overnight session tonight, I think gold's going to be okay here, especially with the 30 reversing to buy. We'll look to buy pullbacks. Here it's a 60-minute, still negative, a little bit of a bear flag. Even if gold does push up, it's going to have some sell divergences here on the overnight session with the negative MACDs here. Also the 30-minute MACDs still not going to, if we do get a new push up on gold to make new highs, these 30 and 60-minute MACDs are not going to confirm. Okay, the QQQs here, if you want to see when the 15-minute time frame, like I said, I want to show you this one last pattern. When the 15s reverse to buy with the MACDs above the pivot on the 15, 30, and 60, and then all three time frames are overbought into the 90, 93, 94, 95 overbought reading. What do you look to do? You take the short on the Qs here, 622.72, and then drops about $1 and change here. So again, really great patterns there on Bitcoin, on Apple, Nvidia, Avago today. Look at Avago pushing up after the opening. Who is buying Avago on the 15-minute time frame right after the opening into the negative MACD? You got to be kidding me. Avago 361.89, Broadcom down 10 off the high. Unbelievable. Again, when Broadcom got oversold here on the 15, the 15s reversed to sell. 85% chance that the highs are in for the day. And what happened? Boom. Look what Broadcom did. Broadcom rallied from the 349.67, rallied all the way up about $8. So again, when the 15-minute time frame reverses to sell, except for what you just saw here on Microsoft, the 15s reverse to sell. You can buy the oversold condition against the 30 and 60, but you see how that pushed up this morning? You've got the push up this morning, and you really had nothing but trouble here in Broadcom above the 361 level. The MACDs could not confirm on the 30 and the 60-minute time frame. You can see this is the push up here this morning here. The MACDs cannot confirm, but really great patterns, really great patterns. All right, when I get back, I will tell you what I expect for tomorrow. So for tomorrow, I'm hoping that we get a push up here because the MACDs on the 60-minute time frame still want to go up here. But here's the thing. You got the MACDs negative now on the 15 and 30-minute spiders, also on the Russell. Really, I have to say that the Russell, I would say that the Russell really is negative here. So the 15s and 30s are negative on the spiders, the Qs, the diamonds, the Russell on the 15 and 30-minute time frame. So if you do get any type of a push up here off the 30-minute time frames, I would wait for an overbought condition, look for shorts. S&P's made new all-time highs here. The Dow made new all-time highs. The Russell and the NASDAQ could not. Gold is still about 260 points away from making a new all-time high. The high was, I believe, 43.98 on the gold. So again, I'm very bearish here, even though if you look here, you can see on the bigger time frame the S&P futures. Looking at the S&Ps on the daily, you can see this is a major bear flag setting up here. You're pushing up into a negative MACD on the overbought condition. You got all this overhead resistance here. S&P's 69.52. New intraday highs, not new highs on the year. The high was 69.52. We got kabooshed by about 300 points. We pushed up here now about 220. And then this is a monster bear flag. I'm expecting lower prices to come. Looking at the weekly here, okay, still very bullish here, very bullish. No buying pressure here, but we didn't have any buying pressure for a while. Looking at the weekly, the monthly now, again, very 700 points from the 10 bar. Again, I still think the gaps are going to get filled probably sometime either end of the year or in the beginning of the first quarter. All right. When the S&Ps were just pushing up to new highs, I said look to short them here at 80. You're making new highs. The MACDs cannot confirm the high. Here was a high. Here was a high. When you have these negative MACDs on the 5-minute, you can see the short 79. Here's 79.5. Boom, 79.75, and then 80. All right. So again, these are sell divergences. You're making new highs, and the MACDs cannot confirm. All right. When I get back, I will tell you something that you should not do as a trader. So a good friend of mine texts me from another country and says, Steve, I made $450 on Monday, $350 on Tuesday, but I lost $2,000 on Wednesday. Okay, that ain't going to work. That ain't going to work. When you have that, you're not consistent. Your goal should be making or losing $500 a day. You can't make that money because you'll end up going broke. $450 on one day, $350 on another, that's $800, and you lose $2,000, you're down $1,200. Your loss should be $500 and stop. That's it. I mean, it's plain and simple. I don't invent the book on something like this. It's just something that people, they are their own worst enemy. And this is something that I tell people over and over again that should not want to be able to understand. You cannot be profitable with those type of hit ratios. You can't. You can't make a dollar on a Monday, a dollar on a Tuesday, a dollar on a Wednesday, lose $10 on a Thursday, make a dollar on Friday, you're down $6. Okay, I'm just making it simple. It doesn't add up, and it's not going to work. You'll always be in the red. Okay. With that being said, please listen to those words. Be careful. Be consistent. So one of my 5 key words. Very important. With that being said, I want to say thank you for watching me on the Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly. Please subscribe to my live stream every single day at sktrading.live. We have people from all around the world joining us each and every day. Also, please hit the subscribe button and leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Also, if you'd like to follow me on social media, at official Stephen Kalayjian on X, Instagram, and TikTok. Also, if you like to watch me tonight, I'll be streaming tonight live only from 8 to 10 on my YouTube channel at SK Trading Live. It might be slow because of the Veterans Day. The banks were closed and a lot of people, might have been off and whatever, but I'll be streaming tonight from 8 to 10. There will be no My Fund the Futures YouTube, but I'll stream from 8 to 10 tonight. Also, what else? Also, if you'd like to follow me or call me or text me, my cell phone number is 914-500-7484. If you want a 5-day free trial, please text me at that number. I'm happy to give you a 5-day free trial. Please join my community of traders. Once you join, it's $4.50 a day. You get my live stream on Discord. You get my member community chat, and you get where you can interact with me, and you get my chart overlay on TradeStation or TradingView, depending if you have an account at TradeStation. If not, you get the TradingView chart overlay. With that being said, I want to say thank you to all the veterans who are serving and who have served. I want to say thank you for their service, thank you for their patriotism, and also thank you for protecting our great country. I want to say thank you, God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. Good night, everybody.